Hey, I'm back. We're going to talk about Golden State Warriors basketball today. For 12 minutes, basketball stopped being a competition. Competition. I can't talk anymore. For 12 minutes, basketball stopped being a competition and turned to Klay Thompson repeatedly proving the same impossible thing. January 23rd, 2015, Oracle Arena. This is Warrior 39, Klay Thompson. And the Warriors came in at 34-6 with the best record in basketball and a home floor that had become nearly untouchable. Steve Kerr was halfway through his first season as a head coach. Steph Curry just led the entire NBA in All-Star voting, and Golden State was no longer rising. They're starting to look real. The Kings were headed the other way. Sacramento entered 16-26, and they'd already fired Michael Malone. Tyrone Corbin took over. DeMarcus Cousins, he's still putting up monster numbers. The season's sliding loose from its bolts, despite Cousins' efforts. Golden State had already beaten Sacramento twice. On paper, this just looked like another stop on the Warriors' march. But it's not a coronation, not at first. Klay Alexander Thompson was born February 8th, 1990, in Los Angeles, son of former number 1 overall pick Michael Thompson. Basketball was the family language, but Klay wasn't raised as a celebrity prospect. He grew into the game naturally. He wasn't Steph, bending defenses with the ball. He wasn't a teenage phenom either, with cameras following him everywhere. He was long, quiet, fundamentally clean, and increasingly lethal. At Washington State, he became the focal point of the program. As a junior, he averaged 21.6 points, led the Pac-10 in scoring, and set school single-season records for points and three-pointers made. He scored 43 against Washington in the conference tournament, finished his college career with 1,756 points, then entered the 2011 draft. Golden State took him 11th. And the rookie version was already recognizable. Minimal wasted motion, high release, feet ready before the pass arrived. He made the all-rookie first team. Then he grew beside Curry into one half of the Splash Brothers. By 2013, that nickname fit. And by 2014, Klay had already become the guy who took the toughest perimeter assignment, so Curry didn't have to. Golden State rewarded him with a 4-year extension worth roughly $70 million in October 2014. And that mattered then because there had been real trade chatter around Klay during their pursuit of Kevin Love, but the Warriors kept them. 3 months later, he gave him one of the best arguments any organization has ever received for leaving something alone. There's something weird about Klay's greatness. Most elite scorers, they'll warn you. They'll dribble 20 times, call for a screen, hunt for a mismatch, slowly take control of the room. Klay, sometimes he can barely touch the ball and suddenly the building's on fire. His greatest weapon isn't just the shot, it's the speed between opportunity and punishment. How do you defend someone who doesn't need to size you up first? Catch and shoot. What kind of scorer scares you more? The guy who controls every possession? Or the guy who can destroy the game before you realize he's even involved? Golden State came out bombing. They ripped off a 22-2 run in the opening 6 minutes, led by 18. Klay hit a pair of early threes, scores 34-25 after one quarter. This appeared ready to become the routine Oracle blowout that everyone expected. Then the game got ugly. Golden State's bench didn't have its usual shape, with Andre Iguodala resting. Sacramento fought back while Rudy Gay got ejected in the second quarter. The Kings still closed within 3 and went to halftime down 56-51. Klay had 13 points. Nice half. Nothing historic. Nothing even especially loud. And Sacramento briefly took the lead after halftime. Then Klay hit a 12-footer. Then a 3. Then another 3. This is where a normal recap starts failing because basketball possessions are supposed to create some variation, a miss, a turnover, somebody else takes a shot, a defense adjusts, the game changes direction. None of that happened. Klay hits a layup, made another three. He pulled up for 28 feet, buried it. He made another from the wing. Then he briefly interrupted the destruction by throwing a left-handed pass to Draymond Green for a layup. That assist feels rude because it's like Klay stopped in the middle of setting the league on fire to prove he remained aware. Yeah, there's other people playing. But then he went right back to work. He hit from deep off Curry's feed. He drove for two, another three, a jumper, another three, another three. Sacramento started sending defenders at him before the ball arrived. Golden State's entire offense had reached the simplest possible conclusion. Find Klay. He scored 19 straight Warriors points during one stretch. The crowd stood. Both benches stood. Teammates kept feeding him because, at some point, strategy becomes basic human curiosity. What happens if we do it again? Klay ended the quarter with 37 points. Not 37 for the game, 37 in the third quarter. He went 13 for 13 from the floor, 9 for 9 from three, and he made 2 free throws. Golden State scored 41, meaning everybody else combined for 4. Sacramento scored 22. The previous NBA record for a quarter was 33, shared by George Gervin and Carmelo Anthony. Klay blew past that. His 9 threes were also a record for one quarter, while his 13 field goals tied David Thompson's mark. No relation. More than a decade later, those 37 points still stand alone. And what's the hottest you've ever seen a player get while you're actually watching live? And be honest, at what make did you stop pretending there's an offense and just start throwing Klay the ball? Klay opened the fourth with his first miss in forever. Kerr planned to pull him, but the players wanted them left in. Klay added 2 free throws, then checked out to a standing ovation with 9:28 remaining. Golden State won 126-101. Klay finished with 52 points in 33 minutes. He shot 16 for 25, hit 11 for 15 threes, and went 9 for 10 from the line. Cousins gave Sacramento 28 and 11. 28 and 11. And almost any other night, that would have been the main event. But if you're Kerr, do you leave Klay out there and let him chase 60? Or is the perfect 37 quarter already enough? Klay's explanation sounded like somebody waking up after the fact. He called it kind of a blur. Draymond said, "You don't get that hot in 2K. Kerr played beside Michael Jordan and said, I never saw him do that." Kerr wasn't some coach reaching for easy hype. He'd watched Jordan produce absurd nights from a few feet away. What Klay had done still looked foreign. Klay also understood the crowd and his teammates became part of the performance. They wanted the show to continue, so they kept finding him. The game became communal. 19,000 people recognized something impossible was happening, and for one quarter, everybody agreed not to interrupt it. 6 days later, Klay was named an All-Star for the first time. Golden State went 32-9 after this game, finished 67-15, including 39-2 at home. Robust? Yeah. Curry won the MVP. The Warriors swept New Orleans, survived Memphis in 6, beat Houston in 5 to reach the finals. Then with Golden State trailing Cleveland 2-1, Kerr moved Iguodala into the starting lineup. The Warriors won the next 3 and claimed their first championship in 40 years. On the other side, Sacramento never found stability. George Karl became its 3rd head coach of the season after the All-Star break. The Kings went 11-19 under him, finished 29-53, and missed the playoffs again. Cousins remained brilliant, but the organization around him kept changing directions. And this game wasn't Klay's summit. It was the first time the whole league saw how violently his particular gift could erupt. In 2016, Golden State won 73 games. Down 3-1 to Oklahoma City, the Western Conference Finals, Klay saved the season with 41 points and a then playoff record 11 three-pointers in Game 6. The Warriors eventually lost the finals to Cleveland, but Game 6 Klay became a basketball character. Kevin Durant arrived. Golden State won titles in 2017 and 2018. In October 2018, Klay broke Curry's NBA record by making 14 threes in a game. In 2019, he earned all defensive second-team honors and reached the finals for the 5th season in a row. Then his body collected the bill. Klay tore his left ACL in Game 6 against the Raptors. While rehabbing, he ruptured his right Achilles tendon in November 2020. He missed 941 straight days. It's like 2.5 years. When he finally returned to January 2022, the entire building treated his introduction like a championship ceremony. Five months later, he actually had another championship. So post-injury, Klay wasn't always the same defender, and the relationship with Golden State eventually became uncomfortable. His role changed, his minutes changed. After 13 seasons with the Warriors, he left in 2024, signed a 3-year, $50 million deal with Dallas. He averaged 14 points in his first Mavericks season. Dallas beat Sacramento in the first play-in game, then lost to Memphis with a playoff spot at stake. In 25-26, Klay moved mostly into a reserve role and averaged a career-low 11.7 points, 69 games, though he still made 188 three-pointers. In January of 2026, he passed Damian Lillard for 4th on the NBA's all-time three-point list. And as of July 2026, he remains on the Mavericks roster. He's not the same player who turned Oracle into a hallucination that night. Nobody's that good forever. But 4 championships, 5 All-Star selections, 2 All-NBA teams, and one of the strongest scoring records in league history make a good case. Next up, we're leaving the hottest quarter in NBA history for 9 innings with almost no offense at all. Hiya. Astro 64 is Justin Verlander. September 1st, 2019. Toronto couldn't get a hit. Houston couldn't get a run. Then a Canadian rookie changed everything in the 9th, and Verlander walked back to the mound with a chance to join a club occupied by only 5 pitchers before him. So that was Warrior 39, Klay Thompson, 52 points, 37 in the third quarter, and 12 minutes where every shot looked less reasonable than the one before it. I'm the Wolf. I'll see you for Astro 64.